Okay, that means I think I press the button and I think we're live, and I'm in the yellow, which is always good. Now, we've got lots of people on tonight, so I'm going to go one by one with you. So first of all, we've got Loudmouth co-host Corn Knight. Say hello.
Hello.
There we go. We've got the pride of the Midwest, Spider. I'll say hello as well.
Hello.
There we go. Danton, who is in the champs. Say hello, Danton. I'm trying to think of something for you to say to
Ethel
him.
runs out of superlatives.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting for for whatever he was.
It was going to be something Irish, wasn't it?
I wasn't going to
Yeah,
say
it was going to be something Irish. Yeah, you could see he was just his brain frantically backpedaled.
I was trying to think how to tie in Bernardo O'Higgins somehow into it, given the South American connection, but I just couldn't in time.
Oh, so carry on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
It's high level jokes. And special guest for tonight only, although hopefully we'll see them again. Broccoli, say hello, Broccoli.
Hello.
Excellent. Now, before we start, we probably should say that Broccoli is one side, or Broccoli, I'll probably start saying that, is one side of the eternal debate on the OCC Discord server between Broccoli and Bananas. Gobas obviously is the banana fan. So before we start, and it's a bit rude perhaps because Broccoli's on the stream, but which team do you guys root for? Obviously he's on the obviously they're on the stream today, so I'm Team Broccoli. Corn Knight, where do you stand?
You insincere. We're talking of
Despite wearing yellow as well, I should say.
I like both. Is that not okay?
That's fine. Yeah, both is fine.
That is vegetables and fruit.
Technically, Corn Knight, that's Team Brockanana.
Okay, actually, so thinking about it more, I think I probably have closer affiliations with broccoli. I eat a lot more broccoli than banana. I eat a lot of broccoli. Lots and lots of broccoli.
That leaves Spider and Danton.
Bananas for me, for sure. 100%.
Okay. That sounds good. And Danton, finally?
So, I mean, if I was on a desert island and I had to choose to spend the rest of my days only eating bananas or only eating broccoli, I would have to say I would probably choose broccoli.
Oh, it's perhaps surprising given the build up there. But yeah, good.
I mean, if you're on a desert island, you wouldn't get a choice. I'm pretty sure it would be bananas, right? It wouldn't be broccoli on a desert island.
I mean, your average desert island would probably offer up bananas, but in the odd chance that it would offer up broccoli,
you probably
there were two islands, and you could only swim the distance to one or the other.
Yeah.
And one was full of bananas, and the other was full of broccoli.
I'd take the broccoli one.
Yeah, broccoli's probably better for you.
Technically, if you're on a desert island, you're probably going to be living off of fish the rest of your life.
Pedant, but good.
Spider's thought it through. And okay, that's a clear win for you, Broccoli. Anything to say to the defeated Gobas?
Sucks to like bananas.
There we go.
And also, I'm a bit sad to have to ban Spider from OCC, but well, I have to do what I have to do.
Yeah. We should also mention that Broccoli is a green suit.
Yeah.
So he's really important. And do you know what? I had an idea earlier that perhaps one day we could get Pidpad on this, which I think would be really good for him. And I think I'm just going to ask him continually divisions when, and see if that's the most annoying question he does get asked, or whether there's another one. But perhaps
every 30 seconds.
Yeah. But I haven't done it for a while because he's now threatened anyone asking that is automatically made an admin for a lower tier. So that's why I've kept quiet. Anyway, right. So we're going to recap the champs now. So I've got the champ teams up. There has been two match days played. And I think you guys covered match day 1, didn't you, when I wasn't here last week? So we're going to look at day 2 scores wise and then add that to the betting. And then what we will do is look at next week's betting and also look at the teams as well. Okay, so without any further ado, I guess we'll look at the first result, which is the High Elves versus Batsaback, which are, of course, a vampire team. And Doom Foretold, I'm struggling here because I can't remember who coaches them at all because I haven't really looked at these teams properly for a while. Doom Foretold. It's Kinroth, of course, his High Elf team. So it was 3-1 to the High Elves. So hopefully one of you got the betting up. So who, if anyone, gets points for that one?
You do, Ethel,
Okay.
and
Got it.
Galentio does.
Okay.
That's
This is
it.
where I'm
Only
catching
those
up
two.
now. But Galentio's doing really well, as ever. Right. Did anyone see this game? Can anyone tell us anything about it apart from the high elf?
Yeah,
look
that
like they're doing
was
high elf
actually
things.
Danton and I think it was Danton if I remember right. We're going back and forth throughout the
This
match
is the
watching it
game.
live.
This is the
Yeah.
game where there were loads of ones.
A ton of ones on both sides.
Especially for mostly for the vampires, but yeah, the high elves had a couple of snakes as well.
Even one of the kickoffs was double ones.
Yeah.
It was just an overload of ones
Jesus
for the
Christ.
vampires,
Yeah.
and it seemed like a lot of them came in bunches as well, like they were grouped together.
I mean, I think the high elves were like 3-0 up at one point. They could have probably even won it 4-0, and then they started to roll some ones towards the end. But
they were up. They were up
3-0.
They were up 3-0 and still had the wizard in hand.
God.
Yeah.
So
It's
that
games
was...
where the vampires just kind of imploded.
Yeah. I mean, sounds like a dicing. I mean, would you say that was a dicing, or was it just a couple of bad runs and there's not much you could have done?
Well, it wasn't really.
think-
it wasn't really a dicing for the high elves as much as it was the vampires just rode crap.
Exactly.
Dice all
It's
the way
just
through.
one of those games where the vampires just fall apart, you know, and
Yeah.
it happens. They have to roll so many dice that they have games like that.
I mean, I think it was like around maybe turn 3 or 4, and there was 3 thralls left in the game. Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
It was pretty early. He was out of thralls, and then it was just kind of at the whim of, Nuffle's favor, and Nuffle shat on him pretty bad.
Oh dear. Broccoli, did you see this game at all, or have you heard anything about it?
Nope, nothing at all.
Okay.
So I can't really bring anything.
No worries. Okay, right. Well, the next 3 games are all draws. So we'll talk briefly about yours, Spider, because you're here. But yeah, I mean, I've not seen any of these games, but I guess at this level, a draw perhaps is the most likely result. Someone has dropped out, but I'm sure they'll be back. Oh no, that was my controller peeping because I was playing Rocket League earlier. But yeah, so I mean, the next 3 are draws, and I mean, I was thinking about this earlier, but this is kind of good for the champs because it means a lot of people are going to be on not so many points, so the differential is not going to be as big.
I mean, this is still a good result for the Dark Elves, right? Thinking about, I think there was a big TV difference here,
like 500 or 600 in TV or something.
And yeah, the Chorfs are a nasty team for Dark Elves to face. So
yeah,
to come away with the draw is not bad.
I thought that because when we look at the KOs inflicted and the injuries inflicted, I mean, I haven't looked at the game, so I don't know when those KOs came in. But I mean, that's 10 players off potentially at a certain point. So to still get a draw after that is pretty good. It looks like the Chorfs had most of possession. Well, they did have most of possession. It didn't look like it did.
I mean, there was a wizard,
there,
I'm pretty sure, on the Dark Elf side, so that may have helped them to secure the draw.
Yep.
That's a good steal, isn't it? Really, I think. Or
and I would imagine that Trunkhead was more than happy with the draw there.
Yeah, absolutely. But did anyone bet on a draw? Spider, you're our draw specialist. So...
Only one person bet on a draw, and it was not me.
Oh,
it was
not Galentio again.
Woo! Sorry, was that too loud?
Cornite did a Cornite.
Cornite did a Cornite.
He did.
Bet against.
Because everybody else bet on Ant-Man, the dwarves, Chaos Dwarves.
I mean, like, Chorfs against Dark Elves, a draw. It's 2 teams that, that are not so fast. It's not going to be so high scoring. A draw, I think, is not that unlikely. I think it's very likely even.
I don't know. I think, given the state of the Chorfs, I think if anything, a Delph loss would have been more likely, just because of the removal potential. I mean, it did happen a bit, but didn't destroy them, obviously. But yeah, I think a draw was unlikely. But what do I know? Okay, MB Carmack versus the Spider is the next one, and that was also a draw, 1-1.
Yep. Before I start my review, nobody took a draw, so no points on this one. One person went with Carmack, and that was you, Ethel. Everybody else went with me. So this one, I mean, this game can really be kind of summed up in the very first turn. With he received first, and he had 4 hits, and he broke armor on all 4 and removed 2 or 3 of them. With no claw, obviously, no claw on the team at all.
Obviously.
So, and they were all Saurus that he removed and broke. So, it pretty much speaks volumes for how my armor held up for the game. I think we both had some not so great dice throughout. His armor dice were a lot better than mine, and that was a big difference. I think he had the better dice overall just a little bit, but he definitely didn't have great dice. He didn't dice me. He just had a little bit better dice than me overall, I believe. So first half, he was controlling it pretty easily, but he made a minor mistake when he positioned his ball carrier and left me a chain push to push a Saurus next to the ball carrier. And I got a hit on the ball carrier and took him out.
Right.
Or knocked him down anyway. Ball bounced a little bit, was in the open. His next turn, he was able to get the ball free and then double failed the pickup, and it bounced into one of my Edge Skink's hands. And then I was able to stall out a few turns, score, left him 3 turns back. He was able to tie it up 1-1 at turn 8.
Okay.
I had a really solid 1-turn chance, but I screwed it up. I had a pretty bad misplay on my part. I should have picked the ball up first and handed it off to my 1-turner because the 1-turner wasn't marked, and seeing if I had to use my reroll then, and then I could have had my reroll for the first hit, which on the first hit I needed to get a yellow, and I didn't. So I did that first hit before picking up the ball, and I couldn't waste my reroll on that. I had to try to reconfigure how I was going to do the 1-turn, and I just messed it all up. So
too complicated.
Yeah. So 1-1.5. Second half, I ran up the sideline with about 2 or 3 turns. Or actually, it was my turn 12. I was on the sideline, and he was able to make some good dice and recover to get enough players in front of me where I was going to have to make some dodges with tackle applied, but it was an Edge Skink. And I still had rerolls. So on turn 12, I tried to break tackle dodge, sun drop out to get him in position to add some assists and double won the dodge. And he sun drop KO'd himself. So that was a really untimely 1-1 for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the Chaos recovered after that turn and got players in front of me to make it a really hard chance to score. Well, it was going to take a lot of 2+ with tackle applied.
Yeah.
So my turn 13, I could have either tried to score first with all the dodges. Instead, I decided to try to dodge out of his tentacles with my other break tackle source. Made the tentacles roll and then double won the dodge there with on a 2+.
Yeah, and that was it.
So I went back and looked at the dice. It wouldn't have mattered if I tried to score with the Skink instead of doing that dodge to reposition.
Right, double one.
I would have made the first 2 dodges, but I still had a third dodge with tackle applied, and I would have double won it. So either way, I wasn't scoring that turn. He was able to recover the ball, move upfield, and then on turn 15, he was getting a Chaos Warrior in position to score. He had to make a go for it, and he had no rerolls, and he failed to go for it. So he wasn't able to get in position to score. So, 1-1.
Well, that's a good result, though, in a way, because to hold each other off in the second half, from the sound of it, he could have scored, but despite the GFI. So, you can't be too upset with that, I don't think.
No, like I said, I had chances to score and win. The 1 turn I messed up badly. That was, bad play on my part. He had a good chance to hold the ball and score on his first half, but he had I wouldn't say it was a bad mistake. It took some dice, me getting some dice to get to the chain push, but he still left his ball carrier in a position where I could get it when he didn't have to.
Yeah, sure.
So I would consider that a minor mistake. Yeah. But I mean, it was a good game. He did kill one of my Edge Skinks, my Edge diving tackle skink.
Yeah, that's pretty good. A lot of SPP for both. Well,
so I lost a little SPP there. I saved the Crocs. The Crocs got move broke, but I used the APO on him and saved that. So
yeah, fair enough. Okay, cool. So 1-1. Next one, 1990s, which is Brett's versus Russell's Pontifices. So this is the other Lizard team, and again, a 1-1. So I don't know if anyone saw this game at all.
I did not.
No.
No.
Danton, Broccoli,
No, but
Corn Knight. Nope.
I was
Nope.
going to bet on a draw and change my mind, of course.
Yeah, it doesn't look massively like much happened, to be quite honest. 25% possession versus 50% possession. So, on paper, it looks like perhaps the ball was on the ground quite a lot, but I don't know. We haven't seen it.
I mean, the Bretts definitely had more of the removals.
Didn't the Super? I mean, we'll look at it perhaps a bit later, but I think in this game, one of the skinks picked up another niggle, didn't he? I think we talked about that in the chat when it happened.
Benedictus picked up his third niggle.
But we'll have a
he's
look at that.
basically just walking SPP at this stage.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that in a minute. But yeah, did anyone bet on a draw for that one? I'm guessing
3 people did.
someone did.
You did, Ethel.
Get in.
Valentio did.
Okay. Oh God, Galentio's running away with it. Hey, Kinroth.
And Loudmouth did.
And there's a loud sound from the loudmouth. Kinroth, I think we've talked about your game already, but now you're here. Yeah, well done. Congratulations, 3-1. It's nice. It was a dicing, apparently. So you're a dice lord.
We mentioned how there were a lot of ones in the game, especially on the vampire side.
But yeah. Okay, in the last game of the week, so Danton, you failed us this week, so you lost.
What do you mean again?
Again. Well, again, because I think I bet on you to win. That's why. That's what I mean, perhaps. So you were versus the Motivated Squad, which is
it was against Nibinen,
yes.
yeah. So I think I bought a lino to go up to 12, and that gave me it because he bought a Chorf as well, because he'd had a Chorf killed against Spider in the first game and had another one, MNG. So he had just enough cash to get another rookie Chorf.
Right, and he did get it in the end. And Kinroth will come to what you're saying in a minute, but yeah, carry on, Danton, sorry.
Yeah, and so basically I took an extra Apo because of I could have kind of put cash in to get a wizard, but I thought against his team, extra Apo probably was more sensible. And really, I would have been happy with the draw here. I put him in to receive, and his first 2 blocks badly hurt 2 linemen. So I pulled the trigger on the first Apo to kind of not start going too far down in numbers. Almost a couple of I think my first 4 turns, every time I blitzed, I just got pushes on both downs. I couldn't roll a single yellow. So after about four turns, I kind of half gave up the drive. He then he managed to get a gang foul on my piling on blitzer. I think he snaked it and got his dirty player sent off.
That's good.
That kind of
didn't hurt him.
Yeah, that let me kind of so the players I'd pulled away, I pulled them back to kind of put some pressure on and to get my piling on player back into the game. And he actually managed, that blitz, I think he managed to stun one of his killers. And then the following turn, he got up off the ground as well and actually edge busted one of, I think, the Mighty Blow guard Chorf.
Right.
And that leveled him up, which was nice. But basically, I wasn't really ever going to stop his score at that point. It was more just to try and chip a couple of dwarves.
Yeah.
And then I had my 1 turn attempt, and unfortunately, Snake eyed the first GFI.
That was it.
And that was that. So second half, actually, there was sweltering heat in this game. Second half, I had a slight numbers advantage. So it was the choice between, okay, do I try and score relatively quickly and maybe push for a win, or just kind of hold out for a draw? And I scored in 5 turns, I think, to give him 4 turns back. Which to me, it was better. If I was going to go for the win, I think that's roughly the time you want to score, because then 4 turns for the Chorfs, they have to kind of
They've really got
push
to
a
push
bit.
it, haven't they?
Push a little bit. Yep.
Roll some dice.
So that can kind of leave some openings, but he was basically able to have just enough movement. I think he actually scored on a GFI, which he had to reroll.
Right.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yep, he did.
I couldn't quite just get enough bodies in the way, and
Pity.
in the end, a 2-1 loss. So
But
I mean,
you heard some troughs though, right?
no ideal, but at least at least I took no damage at all, no permanent damage in the game, and I actually inflicted permanent damage to him, which was a bit surprising.
Yeah, so like a moral victory, really.
Yeah, and two players leveled up, so that was
not too bad at all.
you know,
Yeah, I didn't check
not
the
too
SPP.
bad.
I watched that game live too, and I think the failed one turn really turned the game around. If you make that one turn, I think you definitely end up getting the draw, maybe even the win, depending on how you decide to play it.
Yeah, I mean it's the way it goes with the natural one turner. You know, you have decent odds of getting the one turn, but it's not something you can rely on.
You can't rely on it. No, absolutely.
Nope.
Okay, so who bet on Nibbernen for that one?
Only one person, and it was Ethelred.
Oh, I didn't even bet on you. You didn't let me down,
Danton. Ethel cleaned up in champs
started
this
off by
week.
complaining
Yeah.
I let him down,
Went to
and then
14.
he was the actual turncoat.
I was the turncoat.
Uh-huh.
I'm the traitor. All right, so quick summary. Kinroth will come to you very shortly, but I just want to go through the betting and how's that standing. And I'm looking at the screen there, not my camera, unfortunately. So in the lead is Galentio on 19, followed by Dreamland and Core Knight on 17. Hey, Dreamland, you're second place in the betting, joint second with the guy you just beat. Because I did hear a big sigh earlier. Core Knight was like,
yeah, God damn it. Bloody rats.
Oh, this evening is getting better and better.
I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, fine, great. Nibbernen next on 16, then Spider on 15, me 14, Danton you in 12th, and obviously Keith with 2, bringing up the rear.
In 12th.
Well, 12 points.
I basically got fed up with winning this competition, so I thought I'd give someone else.
Well, yeah, I mean you did win a few, didn't you? So Kinroth says, and he did mention this earlier, so thanks for hanging around. His dice were garbage, so that's what we discussed already. I still hold that if he scores on turn 2 like he wanted to, strategically losing anyway, scoring on turn 2 versus Elves of the Wizard, asking to lose. Yeah, I mean it's elf ball, isn't it, against elves and your vamps? So you're rolling more dice.
I can understand though why. I think the vamps, they try and score fast. I mean, especially Keelstad's vamps. He tries to 2-turn every game, I think, regardless who he's playing against or what the scenario is. Just because
MO, right?
vamps hate being on offense, basically.
Yeah, and that's what Kinroth said. That was right when I came in to start watching the game live. Was on turn 2,
right,
and it was right when he snaked. Yeah, he had the ball in the Vamp's hand, and he was going to score, and he dodged and snaked.
Yeah,
and that was the downfall.
Said, he just said he made himself vulnerable to bad dice, but that's the way Keelstad plays. He always makes himself vulnerable to bad dice.
Yeah. When you're running 5 vamps and you're playing that aggressive, that's exactly what's going to happen. You're either going to win like big or you're going to lose big.
Yeah, and he's won big and he's won the champs, hasn't he? But he's also lost this time. But yeah, well played, Kinroth. I mean, 3-1 is good, especially considering the other results. I guess it's only a couple of games in, but we should look at the leaderboard as well, because I mean, I was going to say it's split into 2, but it's not really. I mean, everyone has got at least a point, and Kinroth is top currently with 2 wins. Then your next Spider with one win, 1 draw, and then 2 wins for the next. 1 win each for places 3 and 4, and then a load of draws, and then load of draws really. So it's still pretty tight still.
It looks like a lot of draws, and it looks like.
I mean that's tight. That's a tight champs. Apart from Kinroth, who's won 2.
Yeah, it's early in the season, obviously, but
yeah,
but it's
only
only 4 teams have won games. That's not very many, is it?
Yeah, I love the reverse psychology from Kinroth saying I've got the best team in the champ.
Yeah, Well, we'll have a look at that in a minute. Right. Okay. There's lots of us. There's lots of us on this today. So what we're going to do, if everyone's still here, and poor Broccoli hasn't said anything for a while, so I hope you're still in the chat. But we're going to look at the teams for each division, and then I'll hand over to each of you, and then you just tell me what you think is going to happen. Right?
Another 3-hour stream it is, though.
Yeah. So 3 hours. But I've got no booze tonight, so it's all good. But you can drink.
Was that why you didn't do any belly dancing when you stood up earlier?
Yeah, I was tempted. But I've got a window here. It's really hot in here, so I just opened the window here. Half an hour diversion chat first. No, we had the diversion chat this morning. Well, this afternoon. Anyway, right, schedule. Danton's first versus Doom Foretold. So both of you are here, so you can both bitch about each other to your heart's content. But Danton, you will be going last in this round. So let's have a look at the teams first of all. So Celtic Tigers, as Danton was saying before. Let's have a quick look. So this is a bit maths with Ethel, so hopefully someone's doing the maths in the background.
Do you want me to cut in with the actual numbers? So
yeah, if you could.
Sit there counting your fingers every turn.
So Danton's got
14 players.
14 players. Thank you. 14. You should have said then. Danton's got 14.
No,
14.
He's got 12 players.
I do not have 14 players.
Oh, sorry, 12. I meant 12.
12 players.
Sorry.
So Danton's got.
I don't
first,
know how Ethel and Corn Knight ever make it through by themselves with doing maths.
Yeah, it's very
Terrible.
impressive the maths going on.
Yeah, it's awful. Danton's got 12 players. That was the first joke. I thought you'd be straight in, Corn Knight, but again,
I'm still trying to find my bearings.
Still smarting. This is because of you, Dreamland. He's smarting from his loss. So he's got 12 players. Highlights of Danton's team are obviously Brian the Fecker. He's a natural one-turner. He's 10, 2, 4, 8. Bit of a legend. He's great. The Blitzers are getting nicely developed now. There's a distinct lack of red crosses, apart from for Roger McMahon, who's just got the little niggle there, I think.
Eamon is the double AV bust.
Yeah, but he's still AG4, right? So that's pretty good. Blitzers are solid as well. He's got thrower for some reason. No dirty player Lino, but there's one with Rackle.
Is the thrower basically the, if you excuse the term, the bolt, the person who carries the ball when the opponent has a wizard to protect your AG6 or AV6?
The thrower is there because I keep expecting the AV6 catcher to die, and also in some matchups it makes sense to have a kind of a backup ball carrier, and to me, a human thrower, it's worth 20k compared to a lino for sure hands and pass. And I wouldn't build him normally into like a proper full-on thrower, but it's a player I can throw kick on as well if he levels again. So I like to have one generally.
Yeah, Kinross saying the Blitzer is a waste of time.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You should have sacked him.
It's definitely humans generally speaking they love stat ups, which is really the only reason I've kept them. Having a mobile guard piece is often very useful, but he's definitely lost Apo privileges.
Yeah.
So,
Corn Knight, I think you said before it's your favourite thing, isn't it? A plus and then minus movement, which is lovely.
I think it's second to Dead's players getting MVPs, but yeah, it's up there. With funniness and the trouble is humans are kind of a bit meh, so you kind of you have to keep the stats up, don't you?
Kinross saying I've got the best team in champs. I completely disagree with him. Just because humans at high TV are
great.
not really the most competitive race. The natural one turner makes the team competitive.
Yeah,
right.
But it's not something you can.
And Danton, your stat ups are pretty good as well. let's not ignore the couple of strength ups you've got as well.
I'd like to point out, Kinross is saying he's the worst value on the team. The thing is,
not that he's a bad player; he's just the worst value.
He might be. I think Kinross is suggesting that he is the worst player, or that he should be fired. But that I think the word value is really important. Then the rest of the team are saving so much value by their cheapness that you can afford to carry him. It's only 1,800 for this team, and it's got all the things you kind of want: 2 strength ups, 2 agi up, 2 important agi ups, and a 3rd backup agi up. And kind of all the things you need.
The other problem is because he doesn't carry an ogre and he's only got 2 guard, he really can't afford to fire that guy and lose that extra guard. He needs that guard in there.
Yeah.
It's very important at high TV. And
not until Shay gets there, maybe.
Removing the bias of my team, I do agree with Danton. I don't think this is the best team in champs. I think there's a couple other teams that are better, built better.
Are we going to look at Kinroth's team? Do we think so?
I mean, Kinroth's team for a start is way better than my team.
I agree 100% on that.
And I mean, Spider's team before he lost one of his Edge Kings was definitely better. I mean, it's still up there as one of the best teams.
Okay, so we've got Kinroth's team up now, and he in his tool bag has got the Basher, who's this guy here, 7347. Although 7 not great, but still fine. He's got an AG5 blitzer as well, which is fantastic. He's got leap too. Movement 9 with, I think I always get these mixed up, but I think that's sprint, isn't it? Yeah,
no, that's sure feet. Every time.
So he's got sure feet, which is obviously going to help with the 1 turn. Not natural, but with pushes is fine. A all-right-ish thrower. I mean, if we're talking about things that Kinroth should maybe fire, I mean, maybe not fire, but a movement burst thrower. I don't know if that's great. If we're talking about value before.
I mean, it's interesting.
It depends on how he uses it. Yeah.
I mean, I've not
if he's using it.
Yeah.
If he go ahead.
For a start, the strength of this team is the fact that it has 6 guard pieces, right? Which for high elves is virtually unheard of, or not something that you tend to see.
For most library teams, is a lot.
And that thrower is a crucial guard piece because it's blodge sidestep, and it really leans into that whole guard dominance. I mean, my team has 2 guard, and it's going to struggle. I mean, I have a couple of strength ups, which help, but his guard advantage is huge for such a mobile team.
Right, and that's where I was going to go is if he's using the thrower strictly just to pass and nothing else,
that's what I was
he
thinking.
Should fire and get rid of it. But if he's using the guard and the blodge sidestep, as Danton was just mentioning, the way it probably should be used, then he should absolutely keep the piece.
I mean, if he was using the thrower for actual ball jobs, he would have by now taken
it up differently.
The thrower goes this thrower goes nowhere near the ball. He's basically in the front lines, giving assists.
Yeah, he's just a lineman who happens to have the pass skill.
Okay, so let's move on to what we think is going to happen here. So, you're the guest, Broccoli, so you can go first, if it's okay. So, what do you think is going to happen in this game?
Well, I'm playing high elf myself, so I have to cheer for the high elves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, that's 1 for Kinroth. Cornite, what do you think?
I'm amazed that the betting so far is largely for Danton. That this high elf team looks so much. I mean, we didn't talk about there is going to be some inducements, right? So Danton
is
370 in inducements for the humans.
Yeah, which is a lot, and it's a lot as in it's to the point where you're losing value, where you're diminishing returns. There's the wizard, yay, and then 200 TV of what am I spending this on? I think if Kinroth plays well, he should win. And Danton said himself, he's keeping that blitzer because he's mobile guard, Agi 4 guard. Well, Kinroth's guard is all Agi 4. One of them's Agi 5 with movement 7. They're just it's not comparable. That
guard can move anywhere, can't it? More or less.
Yeah. If Kinroth loses, then Danton is clearly a far better coach. Let's roll the dice.
Have you guys played? We should do that. We should have a look at that.
How can you say my team is autopilotable? Do you know what Edge 3 is? I mean, it's literally, you know, you live and die on a 3+ for most games. I mean, I have a couple of Edge 4 players that makes it easier, but it's not autopilotable. And the fact that you know, the one turner, I mean, we saw it against Nibinen, roll snakes. I mean, he doesn't. It's not just an auto touchdown. You know, there's a lot.
It's a
of
lot
things
easier than most, but it's not auto.
Yeah,
not
but there's
auto.
a lot of things that can go wrong.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Trying to score
your
with
one turner is amazing because he's got Agi 4, just like the whole of the rest of Kismoth's team.
Yeah.
Which, you know.
I've got to say as well that in bragging terms, I don't know if you've met in the OCC or elsewhere, but currently Kinroth is winning with 2. You played 2 and Kinroth's won them both. So hashtag
I've
just
played
saying.
against Kin. When have I played against Kinroth?
Don't
Probably
know.
in CCL, was it?
Could be CCL, could be OCC. I don't know if you guys have met before.
Don't think we played in the OCC, so yeah, it must have been a couple of CCL games.
Yeah. But there we go.
Yeah.
Kinroth's really laying down the smack now.
Now I changed my mind.
But
Brilliant.
I like the self-bashing more, actually. When both were like, no,
mean-
my team sucks, the other team is much better, and
Yeah.
lose.
I mean, I bet on myself. I mean, you know, I think it's going to be hard for me to win, but I mean, I absolutely need to try and win this game because I've had a bad start. Kinroth as well. If he wins, he's kind of running away with it because he's the only one who's won 2 games. So, you know, I'm definitely doing everything in my power to try and win it.
This
That's
isn't
the right
quality smack.
attitude as well.
Sorry, I missed that. There were 2 voices there.
That was me, and then I talked over Broccoli. So Broccoli, carry on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that Danton has the right attitude at least. So
Yeah, and look, Kinroth's having a go. He's having a go at me not capitalizing my name, and the exact reason I don't is because I don't need to, Kinroth.
This is brilliant. Just what we needed. Dantonito, that's good. Is that what Mrs. Danton calls you sometimes, Danton? Perhaps. Anyway, I've changed my betting to Kinroth for this. So of the people on the stream, we've got.
You're so fickle, so fickle.
Well, I've looked at the teams.
He's a turncoat. We've already you know, explained that.
Okay, so first of all, I should explain that the bot favors Kinroth, right? So it's 2.14 versus 1.88.
But we should also explain that the bot knows nothing.
Yeah, the bot knows nothing, but
no way,
it's a general guide.
No.
Plus, the bot does know though that humans are shit.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
Danton, Galentio, and 2 others. Dreamland. So Danton, Galentio, and Dreamland have bet on Danton. A draw is the Spider and Nibinun, and then for a glorious Kinroth win is myself and Corn Knight. So that's how the betting is for that one. So good luck, guys. Have you got a schedule yet? Do you know when you're playing?
Well, I think it's either going to be Monday or Tuesday, but Kinroth, I think he finds out tomorrow what his schedule is. But Kinroth, I can play during most of the day because I'll be working from home.
Right.
So just let me know.
All right, cool. Well, good luck with that one.
I'd like to. Can I just go back to one thing? So
yeah, sure.
Kinroth mentioned on the Pro Elf Discord he's hated because he mentioned not liking throwing, and basically it's a
capital offence, isn't it? On that Discord,
it's hilarious because basically everyone who chooses to join that Discord for the most part is there because they want to play a team where they throw as far as possible every time. I have done exactly the same thing where I've basically gone, what you're doing is terrible. You should not be throwing. Like, you know, people like keeping their thrower back and then moving squares back to throw the maximum range because it makes them feel better about all the skills they've bought on their thrower. And yeah,
but you can, I think with a Pro Elf you can probably long bomb on a 3+, can't you? With all the right skills.
I mean, yeah, but you know, it's still like it's not good tactically to actively do that, though, is it?
Maybe I should join that league with my Kimry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still say I'm the only one that's done a long bomb pass with the throw rod to a Tomb Guardian caught it and then made 2 go for it to score with the Tomb Guardian.
Easy touchdown.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Easy. I mean, Broccoli, you've got an AG5 this is from memory in our terrible game when you thrashed me. You've got an AG5 thrower and an AG5 catcher, haven't you? From memory.
Yes. Both with Smooth as well.
Yeah, and that's hideous to play against. I can tell you that much. But yeah, good point from Kinroth in the chat. That I'm sure he brought to the Pro Elf thing as well. So yeah, I took 4 passing skills on my thrower so I can build a 5.5% chance to lose the game in every single offensive drive, which is a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, should we move on to the next?
But you're
game?
not alone. In fact, I'm thinking about asking in the Pro Elf Discord to have an anti-throwing channel so we can like-minded anti-throwing Pro Elf coaches can get together and talk.
Yeah, ostracized to your own.
There are a few of us, Anyway.
Okay, the next game is 1990s versus Motivated Squad. So this is the 1990s, which are Lasker's Bretts versus Motivated Squad, which is horrible chorfs coached by Nibbinen. So let's have a look at 1990s first. They come in at 1750, 110 in the bank, so that will stay the same. I like Lasker because he puts all his players in order with no horrible gaps, so that's 14 players straight away that we can see.
Whereas obviously, if one of those gaps was higher up, it would throw everywhere.
It really throw me.
Oh my god! There's 15 players with a gap.
I might have.
Someone needs to tell Lasker to
I'm
start
really
moving
sure it's
players
14.
around.
I'm 100% sure it's 14.
He's
Have you
not.
counted now?
He doesn't. He's not sure anymore.
I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure about anything. I think I've got that dyscalculia. I think I might have that. Do you know what? I dug out one of my university maths books. I was going to bring it up, but just looking inside the book made me feel ill, so I left it. Okay, so how Lasker's highlights of his squad? Obviously, the strength 4 blocker here, but he's only got guard, so that's not great. But he's got.
Well, I mean, he's got two legend blitzers.
Yeah,
right?
I was just coming to them, Danton. Yes, so certainly not is certainly not. Sorry, God, I can't even do puns today. Certainly not. Number 1, 7-3-3-8. He has mighty blow, tackle, blodge step, diving, tackling, shadowing.
Can't do puns or reading.
Or reading. God. So yeah, I mean, it gets interesting as you go along that line. More interesting, perhaps. But what else would you pick? I guess. And then the other one, Circumflex. Great, again, a great name. Leader, sure hands, dodge. I'm going to check the icon first this time.
Fend.
Sure feet.
Oh, sure feet.
Sure feet. I know what Fend looks like. I've got Fend, and then sidestep as well. So apart from that, there's not much else there. All right, a couple of blockers have got mighty blow, but 4 guard. So fairly standard. Only 1 DP as well, but fairly low TV as well. Just 1750.
Birds are quite TV efficient. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually think I prefer birds at higher TV than humans generally.
I mean, but birds are TV efficient when you have 2 of your blitzers get killed. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
thing.
that's what's happened, hasn't it, to Lasker?
But he needs. I mean, all he needs.
He didn't
is
want
just
this out of
dodge on
choice.
both- yeah, if he just gets dodge on both of those blitzers, then it
Yeah, they're
looks a
complete,
lot more
aren't they?
solid.
Really. And Kinroth, don't you bloody dare do that. That'll make my job so much harder if you do that. But I'm sure you will now. Anyway, so that's the Bretts. They're at home, but they've only got the wrong button.
Kinroth, just to in case you do like them in some kind of order, I put one of my teams in order of games played, which means that they don't earn SPP at the same order, so it looks horrible to everyone else. They're all in different position orders, but it makes me feel fine because I know what their order is and I know it's there for a reason. And
Nice.
so if anyone there is a bit OCD but also wants to make their team look scary to other OCD people, that's what you do.
Yeah, and this is especially true for your division, Dreamland, because when you play Andy, he hates that as well. So
it actually
definitely
makes
do that.
him find it hard to look at teams.
Yeah,
So,
and I think we
totally
just found
totally worth doing.
we found another use for the term to do a core night as well.
So yeah. Anyway, back to the champs. He's only got the Riot and Pitch Invasion events cancelled. Not that I think it'll make too much difference in this thing, but let's look at Nibbinen's Chorf squad.
So there's 80k of difference between the two teams.
Yeah, so not much. Nibbenen's got no cash though, and he has 16, 15, 14, 13, 12,
Yes,
13
12.
players. 13 players.
No, what? 12.
But he's 12, but he's missing one, so he has 13.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, 13-man roster.
Okay.
13-man roster, but he's out a Chorf blocker.
There's going to be
Who,
there's going to be 12.
this is the one that you broke, isn't it, Danton?
That's the one that I edge busted.
Yeah, which obviously going to keep him. It makes no difference whatsoever. I'd like to think in the future only he could dodge and either cover the ball or do something, and that will fail. That's what makes me feel happy.
That's when he'll roll a 6.
Yeah, that's when probably against me, and he will roll a 6. Bloody dwarfs dodging. But apart from that, it's a very solid Chorf team. There's plenty of removal potential here. There's a really nice bull with strength 5. The other one's got frenzy, which is pretty good. He's also break tackle and mighty blow, which is really good. So yeah, fairly solid. Good hobgobs as well, and a strength up hobgoblin. So again, who wants to go first in this one? Spider, let's hear what you think.
Originally I have Nibbenen.
Sure.
And I went along the same lines as everybody else, but I'm almost about to change it to a draw.
The draw is the right answer, I think. Here,
yeah.
It's like Nibbenen's a killy team, but Lasker's got a big bench, and a draw seems very likely to me. I've gone for a draw, obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to switch over to a draw.
Yeah. Broccoli, anything to? Sorry, Danton, I'll come to you in a sec.
I wasn't that impressed by the breadth or the chaos draw, so draw seems a bit likely.
I mean, what the Bretts are missing really is stat ups. I mean, they have got 1 strength 4, but there's no AG stat ups there. So they're a good Brett team, but they're not an amazing Brett team. I can't remember if either of his blitzers that died had AG or other strength ones. I can't remember. I don't think they did.
I think he may have had an edge up one.
Yeah.
He definitely had. He's had some. I think he had a legend one who may have had Agi up, and he had one before that as well that had a bunch of level ups. So
So yeah, I mean, a draw is likely. The only thing I'd say to mitigate that is that Nibbenen's got obviously a much higher chance of removals. Okay, the piling on against the Linos isn't going to work because of the fend, but if again, we say this every week, but if he gets a removals, then obviously that'll make his life a lot easier. And he did he get loads of removals against you, Danton? He got a few, didn't he? But not.
Well, first half, at the start of the first half, he got quite a few. But then sort of later on, not so many.
Yeah. So does that mean he's due some? Does it not mean? I don't know. So a draw could be there.
Kinroth has a nice point, which is Nibbenen is 1-0-1, so he's had no draws, while Lasker is 0-2-0, so he's only had draws. So whoever's the better coach is going to either cause it to be a draw or cause it to not be a draw.
And I think that means he says it's going to be a draw, right? So
I already went for a draw because I was doing a core night and going for the option that most people hadn't considered. But now you're all ruining it for me.
You can always change too. The game's not been played. It's fine.
I've
it's
got to
be a draw, people.
Lasker and Nibbenen played twice, and it was 2 draws. So, and given what's happened, maybe a draw is likely. So this is going to be a draw, isn't it? But I'm not going to change my betting. The rest of the people then have bet in the following way. So Lasker is Nibbenen is slightly favoured by the bots, if it means anything. 1.89 versus 2.12. We've gone for 1 Lasker win. Nibbenen, bizarrely, has gone for Lasker. We've got three people, voting for Nibbin to win. That's me, Dreamland, and Galentio. Dreamland, obviously, because he's racist against Brett's. And then a massive 3 for draws. Well, 2 for draws, which is...
It's only
5.
4 for a draw.
4.
It's 4 for a draw now.
4 for draws now, which is Core Knight, Spider, Broccoli, and Danton has changed as well. Yeah. So, yeah, so Broccoli, please you're on the channel now, so please feel free to click on the predictions.
I was going to say, it's Kinroth here as well. Maybe Kinroth wants
Kinroth, you can have a go as well.
There you go. There's an invite to the Discord if anyone watching this wants
to and that is the betting way to click those.
Yeah. So home is the home icon.
Or draw,
which would be the first team. Yeah,
and
draw is the middle one.
Sometimes we have a little poop on there, and that means the game's either been played or is admin or whatever. So we don't count admin games for the betting. Yeah. But yeah. Okay, right. Next squad then is this week's Lizard off. So it's Spiders, Liz, or Comment. Oh yeah, sorry, Spider. I didn't ask you what you thought there for that last game, but I guess.
Yeah, you did. You asked me first.
Oh yeah. Sorry, that was feels like
it was so long ago.
So long ago.
It's your amnesia kicking.
Yeah, God. I'm only
Must be this.
Not looking good for me. Is it?
Thing working again.
Yeah. Jesus.
Normally he's got alcohol to blame on, but he's sober this time, so you can't even say it's the drink.
Lizards are playing Lizards in the next game, and this is Spider versus Raspel. So you're at home, Spider. Let's have a look at your team first of all. You have the nice weather chart, which is nice, and you're missing a Saurus and the Crocs actually, so that may influence people's betting.
Yep.
Apart from that, it's looking not too bad. We've got plenty of green here. So we've got Movement 9 Skink. We've got 2 with AG4, though obviously some of them, Jolt the 8th is carrying a few injuries on top of it as well. We've got the legend that is Sundrop, who's niggled everyone who's watching. He's niggled everyone who's watching.
He's been niggled for a very long time.
He's been niggled for years.
He's been niggled for like 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still.
I think I played him against him one time again.
Yeah.
Years ago, and still niggled.
Did you? Who did the niggle actually? Spider, can you remember?
I don't remember. It was probably my first season in Champs when I had to go against 6 qual teams.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess it was probably that season at some point. It was before he became a legend. I know that.
Oh, yeah. A long time he's held that niggle, but he is strength 6, so that's probably why. I think most people ignore him.
It was before we were in Champs together, which was 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
No, I haven't been in Champs for 5 seasons, 6 seasons.
Okay, so it's 5. Yes. Well, wait, I don't know. Okay, fine.
I've got a horrible memory that he could have been niggled when we played and I was undead. So this is like really early on in the OCC.
Yeah, he's been niggled for a long time.
Anyway, so and any other highlights you want us to say, Spider? I mean, missing those 2 players is pretty bad, I would say.
It is. The Crocs is going to hurt. I mean, I could get by with the missing the tackle. It would have been nice to have him, but I think the Crocs is going to hurt more than anything with the tail and being able to match up.
Sorry, Kinroth's comment made me laugh. I apologize.
Yeah, some good analysis by Kinroth.
Not going to be fun. It's not going to be a fun match. I don't fancy my chances to win. I'm still picking myself to win, but I think you got to. I think the more likely scenario is I pull off the draw.
Because
I'm just wondering if Kinroth is bipolar, because I mean he literally started off this whole thing. It's like, oh poor me, I'm going to lose, and then he just exploded it in the complete opposite in terms of you're all going to lose except me.
Okay, so it's 11 versus 11, but crucially, I think Raspel's got 140 to come in inducements. And
you're really sure it's 11 versus 11?
Yeah, 100%. I just literally counted them. I literally just counted them. Here's Raspel's team up now. If you
that's why you asked Spider to describe everything in detail, so you had time to think about it. Right?
11. Yeah, definitely 11. I just counted again. So he's going to probably scum a wizard, I would imagine. But crucially, he has a bit more strength. How many guard do you have, Spider? Is it more than 2?
I'm missing one of my guards, so no. Oh, no, I'm missing both my guards. I don't think I have any guard for this game, actually.
Okay, so he's got 2 guard as well. So obviously one's on the Crocs, but it is a block Crocs as well. So yeah, this is going to be tough. This is the player we were talking about earlier, Benedictus.
Oh, wait a second. Is guard such a big deal for a lizard off? I'm not sure the way they fought, and especially when one of the lizard teams has a strength 6 lizard and the other one doesn't.
But the other lizard team that doesn't have is missing his Crocs and one of his source, so I'm already going to be out strength in that sense. This game's going to come down to is whether or not I get the draw or I lose is going to be, does Sundrop fail at the crucial roll like he has the first 2 games of the season, or does he make the crucial roll? That's literally what it's going to come to. Because if he makes the crucial roll, with the 2 ad skinks on the pitch, I can do so much. So it's really going to be, does Sundrop make that crucial roll at the right time?
Yeah.
That's literally what's going to decide whether or not this is a draw or a loss. Yep.
Okay. We'll go to betting in a minute, but before we do, again, just interrupted. Okay, night, Dreamlands. Sweet dreams.
Yeah. Kinross going off on one of his bizarre rants.
I'm starting to think that Kinross has drunk more than I have. That's what I'm saying.
Either he's drunk more than you, or it's one of his multiple personalities has taken over.
I mean, Benedictus the fourth. I mean, 9-1-3-7, 3 niggles.
He's not actually playing in this game, though.
He's not playing this game, but do we?
It's important we look at him. The effect he's going to have in this game is enormous.
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying. Do you finally? I mean, I don't think he's going to get fired, but
no. Raspel specifically said he's
dying on the pitch, isn't he?
He's dying on the pitch.
That could be his next game.
I will say, the last time we played, this skink frustrated me to no end and ended up causing me to lose because I was so bothered by this skink and I couldn't get around it.
I mean, this is like for lizard teams, that's the worst, right? You rarely have sure hands. A strip baller who can get anywhere is petrifying, right?
Yeah, he just absolutely pestered me and tortured me the whole game. So the fact that he's not in this game is going to be a blessing, plus for me. Yeah. If I had all my players, if I had my Crocs and my other source, I win this game 100%. I have no doubt.
I'd even say if you just had your Soros, not even the Crocs.
If I had one of the 2, yeah.
Yeah.
As it is, I think I can still pull the draw off. And it could really come down to the other play that it could come down to is my 1 turn. Do I get the 1 turn or not?
Yeah.
I mean, that could happen with both sides, right? You know, Raspel's also got a sprint sure feet skink.
He does, but he's got to push him more. Mine's only got to be pushed 1. So my chance is a little bit easier than his.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have any stand firm to stop me. I don't have any stand firm to stop him. So, I mean, we'll have that chance.
He has 1 stand firm, but it's not going to be...
Yeah, but it's not enough to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, do anything serious.
Yeah. Kinross asking about your 1 turn method, Spider. But yeah, do you want to know your record against Raspel?
I think I've only played him once or twice.
You played twice, and currently Raspel's winning both. He won both.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you played in OCC or elsewhere, but
I know we played once in OCC because I played team, and that skink is what literally caused me to lose because I got so wrapped up in just trying to get around that skink that I basically just forgot about the rest of the game.
Yeah. I mean, is Raspel going to get any other inducements apart from scumming a wizard? I mean, I say scumming, I mean, it's 10k from his bank to put it in. Do you think he should get anything else?
No, I think the wizard's enough for what he's going to need.
Yeah, wizard, 100%. And and the biggest problem with Spider only having like 5 Saurus is that he's got no way to protect all the 6 skinks who are going to be on the pitch. So Raspel just needs to hit a skink every turn and slowly whittle the team down, right?
Yeah. absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, like Spider said, it's could well come down to a big play by Sundrop, whether that can kind of make a difference or not.
Yeah, well, I got to say, betting wise, the audience have made up their minds very much. So again, the bot has it fairly even, 2.03 for you, Spider, versus 1.97 by Raspel, but a mighty six people have bet on you, and those six are Cornite, Broccoli, yourself, obviously, Galentio, and Dreamland, and me have bet on you to win, and 2 draws. Which is Nibbinen and Danton, and then 1 person to bet on Raspel, which is perhaps unsurprisingly Kinroth, who's gone against the grain there. Is anyone tempted to change
Kinroth
their bets?
He's gone off on another shouting spree about Spider's 1 turn. I'm not sure what he's talking about though.
Well, we talked about it before you came in, Kinroth. My 1 turn attempt. Well, I just messed it up, and I know what I did wrong on it. I should have done the pickup and handoff of the ball first, and then I still would have had my reroll to. I need to get a yellow on the first hit. If I get a yellow on that Nerva Warrior and he doesn't get removed, then it's a very easy 1 turn. Yeah. But the ending of it, I failed to mention this. Now that he brings this up, I still had a potential chance at the end. I had to dodge with the Saurus with a reroll, and I made the dodge. And then I had to dodge into a tackle zone, so a 6+ dodge with the Saurus to get the blitz off. And I failed the first one, but rolled the 6 on the reroll. And got the push that I needed, but then I chain pushed Sundrop, and I chain pushed him to the wrong square. If I'd have chain pushed him to the diagonal, because I was running out of time, I only had like 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
If I'd have chain pushed him to the diagonal square, then I could have actually still 1 turned.
Oh man, I hate when that happens. But that's unlucky.
I mean, how many times have I seen Spider do a Saurus 5+, 6+ dodge turn 8 or 16?
Too many times.
We've had them clipped a few times.
Yeah, we have. It happens so often. Okay, so you got to win that one, Spider, really. But good luck with that one. Okay.
I have a feeling a lot of those coaches voted on me, not realizing that I'm missing the players I'm missing.
Yeah, I mean, it's tempting to change. Given
that's why I went for the draw. I think if both of the teams were fully fit, I think Spider would have the edge. But with the players missing, I think it's going to be a draw.
Yeah, I've changed my mind. I've changed mine from Spider to Raspel.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the most likely result is I'm lucky enough to pull off a draw or I lose. If I win, it's just going to be because Raspel either played really crappy or the dice determined that I should win.
Okay. Yeah, possible. All right, next game is Infernal Demon Smiths versus Sabertooth Vag. So this will be the pillow hitting 2 bash teams, not hurting each other at all. So this is Ant-Man's Chorf team, which is we'll look at first because I think they're even worse than the other one. And they're pretty hideous from what I remember. So he'll have 14 players coming into this game, although he has got a 15-man roster. What's to say here? So strength 5 bull with break tackle, tackle and mighty blow and block, of course, which is pretty good. Lots of guard, lots of 2 claw, no piling on though, which is kind of good, I guess. But a great hobgoblin ball carrier who is armor bust but is also strength 4 as well. So and blodge, which is pretty decent. So a really strong Chorf team. 150k in the bank, which I doubt he'll spend, but 2080 in terms of team value, so quite high really. And that's versus MB Carmack, who's only inverted commas 1840. He's got a level to pick, so let's have a look at his team now. So it's Boring Marcel who's got a skill, and he's a rookie beastman, so I'm guessing that will be either block or wrestle or mighty blow, depending on how he feels.
Or guard.
Or it could be guard. I mean, guard would be perhaps a bit more useful. That will take him to 6 guard, which would be great. It's not that killy actually. This chaos team. So there's not any claw yet.
Don't tell my lizards that.
Yeah. There's not any claw yet, but there's certainly a smattering of mighty blow in there, and there's quite a few tools there. I mean, again, the carrier's really nice.
Wait, was Kinroth the one who killed the?
Yeah, Kinroth did kill the.
Kinroth was the one who fouled Clueless Tina.
Clueless Tina, finally, Clueless Tina. Who's I think we've probably all played against.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kinroth's famous, I think, for dead Apo, dead, right? That's your MO in it, Kinroth. You don't care about Apo, you just go in and make sure they're dead, which is nice. So yeah, so again, it's a tough one, but on paper, you'd probably say Ant-Man, right? But MB Carmack will have, assuming that's not a double, a normal skills 20, so 1860 versus 2080. So one of you can shout out how many times. 220 inducement. So I don't know, what would you guys spend your inducement money on?
Wizard and a Beastman. He's on 11 players, so buy a 12th Beastman and then get a Wizard. Is the try and make it about the ball, try and get the ball, but basically the Ant-Man team is considerably more scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
I mean, I think I've bet on MB Carmack for this one, but that's more solidarity.
I'd say the Wizard is his best shot at making something happen.
Yeah, I mean, but what normally happens when you get two bash teams like this is they just push each other around the pitch. So,
well, having just played Carmack, he's a pretty solid coach, and other than the minor mistake where he let me have the chain push on the ball, I thought he played pretty solid. So, I went for the draw just because I think he does have some nice warriors, even though they don't have claw, and he's got the really nice ball carrying beastman. So, I think that he's going to be able to do enough to get the draw against the Dark Elves.
Yeah.
The Chorfs. Yeah, I went for.
Sorry, the Chorfs.
I went for a draw as well.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean,
MB Carmack has enough tools to stay in the game and score on his drive, and I could just see it being a 1-1.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, they have. They played twice, and MB Carmack slightly edged it with one win, and the other game was a draw. So. Yeah, previous record would suggest MB Carmack, but again, he's up against it in this game because it's pretty scary looking, that Chorf team.
I imagine they were different teams as well. Like MB Carmack has had a significantly scarier, killier team before, and Ant-Man's Chorfs have grown, almost unchecked, right? Like they've not got anything for a long time.
Yeah, he had 3 MNG, didn't he, at the start of the season? But yeah, no permanent damage.
No, nothing permanent. Okay, well, betting wise, Ant-Man's slightly favoured again by the bot, 1.93 versus 207. 4 people have bet on Ant-Man, and they are Kinroth, Corn Knight, Nibbernan, and Galentio. We've got quite a few draws on this one as well. So this is you, Broccoli, Spider, Danton, and Dreamland, and then. MB Carmack win is just me, who is plumping for the Chaos here. So,
yeah, I also looked at the record so far this season, and they have 3 draws and 1 loss together.
Right.
So yeah.
So I mean, that's a draw. Perhaps is I think a draw is always the most likely result, especially at this kind of level. But yeah,
true.
That's why it's yeah. I mean, it's a popular choice, but. Again, going against the grain because I do need to catch some points up, so that's fine. And again, in chat, Kinroth's going through his MO, which is it's very mind gamey, isn't it? I didn't realise Kinroth was such a trying to get in your head coach, but clearly he is.
Yeah. He's already claiming that I'm next.
Yeah. Okay. And the final game for this week of the champs is back-to-back versus Pillars of Heaven. So this is the Vamps of Kjeldstadt, which we'll look at versus the Dark Elves. So let's have a look at the roster here. So 5 Vamps. Again, he's moving them around. Again, quite lacking on the thralls here, though I think he'll get some loner ones. It's at his house.
Quite lacking generally, some would say.
Yeah, surely. He's got the nice weather. stadium. But I mean, I think the one you want to kill, Kinroth, is Freight Train, right? I think that's the one that we're all interested in playing. And I mean, he's already marked for death by Sundrop or vice versa, I think. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. I think in that game, but yeah, I mean, he's a standout player, isn't he? 7.648, which is unbelievable. And then Mr. Clean, as well as AG5, is pretty decent. And finally, Bantha with another movement. Well, there's two other vamps with movement 7, which is key for them. But one bizarrely got piling. Well, jump up, that is. So yeah, he's obviously
Kinroth, you've already played against both of them, so does the mental boom equity actually achieve anything?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You might unsettle them for the rest of the season, mightn't it? After his smack, so
Can you smack talk your opponents into losing their games against each other? Does that work?
Yeah. I mean, as Kinroth says, when he's got a thing where
he feeds on tilt by the
feeds on tilt.
Ethelred does that as well, but it only really works in Cole.
Yeah, it isn't really. Well, no one usually gets. I don't usually tilt that much unless it's dwarf dodging. But yeah, that's fine. So that's the Vamp team. I mean, so
the Vamps have actually
good,
managed to get a bank together for the first time, I think, in a long time.
They're going to buy the 6th Vamp with it, I bet you.
Do you reckon he's going to buy another Vamp? I mean, he'd be insane.
I was joking because it would be a terrible idea. He needs thralls. Oh my god, does he need thralls?
Yeah. He needs to delete one of those vamps and then get thralls.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd keep having 5 thralls, 5 vamps is great, but you want to be getting
not when you only have 4 thralls or 5 thralls, whatever he's got.
What I think he could do is I don't think he's going to take
the next game. Sorry,
I don't think he's going to buy anything before this game, but the next game, if he's playing against like a bash team, he might just pick up 3 or 4 thralls.
I mean, he's got enough money to get the 3 thralls now, and then he would have a bench of 1, which would be a big difference.
But what's Trunkhead's TV? I mean,
it's way lower.
Trunkhead's, I think, lowest in the division. I think.
Yeah, that's why I think he probably won't pick up the thralls now.
Yeah,
but
no, but like Trunkhead's getting a wizard and other stuff. So Trunkhead's at 1590 with loners, and at the moment Kielstad is 1910.
Yeah.
So what's that? 320 TV of difference. Now that's a wizard and then a star player or a bench or whatever the Dark Elves want. A bribe maybe.
Bribe's not dreadful, is it?
For removing thralls.
Yeah.
And that's just a bad time for the Vamps, right? And the Vamps having a bench is not going to make that 310, 320 into 360, which is not like that much worse. You might as well get a bench now. Bench is going to do so much more than the extra 40k for Dark Elves, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I brought the Pillars of Heaven up now, Trunkhead's team. I mean, he's missing his Mighty Blow Blitzer, which is is important in this game because obviously that's good for thrall removal. But he has still got his Witch as well. He's got Mighty Blow and Jugs, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, the TV is quite low, so the rest aren't really built up that much. I mean, is Shadowing going to get any look in, do you think, in this game? Or do you think it's not bad much?
No, of course not. No, because it doesn't work when you lose your tackle zones. So if the Shadowing player is on the ball, the Vamps gaze the Shadowing player and then wander off without needing to worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, really, the Dark Elves' best hope here is that the wizard gets them the ball.
No, their best hope is that he continues to roll a million ones like he did against the High Elves.
Yeah, well, that as well.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's a tough game because the Dark Elves don't have that much in their toolbox today to cope, really.
I mean, they're elves.
I mean,
you know.
But they are
They're,
elves,
you know,
at the end of the day.
elf teams. Generally speaking, elf teams are favored against Vamps.
Yeah.
Just because they can, you know, especially with the wizard. I mean, I bet on Trunkhead to win this. So
Yeah,
you know,
same.
the wizard gives him a really good chance, and you know, we all know that Kielstad can just implode, and he's likely to just be 11 players. So you know, there's going to be thralls leaving the pitch.
I mean, Dark Elves are the worst of the elves to be facing vampires with, but they're still better than an Agi 3 team. And you can still run around and annoy the vamps by you know not staying in one place basically, and you're not going to be caging up and stuff like that.
But again,
So-
is as he did against Kinroth, is Kjellstad going to go for the 2-turn score and, you know, potentially gives the elves
Yeah,
loads of
I
time
That's
to
the way he
score
always
with the
plays,
wizard.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's the only way he knows how to play Vamps.
Yeah.
Well,
But that doesn't work when you've got such a small team. You need a bench for that to work. You know, you need to be getting players back when you score. Basically,
It's exactly what Kinroth said way back at the beginning. Is scoring on turn 2 to go up 1-0 against elves when the elves have a wizard in hand is just asking to lose from the very beginning.
Yeah.
But that's all that Kjellstad knows how to do, right? So that's what he's going to do.
But there's, I think, I don't remember who mentioned it, but Vamps are strong on their defense, so he wants to score anyway. But I agree that it seems like lose whatever way he does it. So
Yeah, I mean,
you're rolling a ton of dice, and you're putting your whole game on the back of those dice. I mean, if you roll good dice, you're going to win most likely, and if you don't roll good dice, you're going to lose.
I mean, like so Vamps want to be on defense, so they're like an immovable object in terms of their choice of the way they play this. But elves can score at any time, so it's like a unstoppable force hitting an immovable object. And unfortunately, the unstoppable force is a bit more unstoppable than the immovable object is immovable. And elves find it easier to score than Vamps find it easier to turn them over. So it's advantage elves. It's not like, you know, Kinroth's being quite extreme in what he's saying. The fact is, you know, it's Blood Bowl. The dice are involved. It's you know, it could go any way, but there is an advantage that the elves have in this matchup that Agi 3 teams don't, and slow teams don't. You know.
I mean, I'm not sure how serious Kinroth's being, but I mean, I think fairly serious. But yeah, he says sack Bantha, rebuild. But I don't think Kjellstad is ever the type of player who's going to get sacked.
I mean,
he's not going to sack. I mean, you're right. He probably should, but he's not. He's not going to get.
No, I don't agree with that.
The bloat that Bantha is carrying is the Edge bust, right? He was Edge 5, and he was busted down to 4.
Move 7 is so important for Vamps, though.
Yeah, I can't see him. I can't see him sacking him, to be honest.
Very rare that you're going to sack a legend, regardless. But even with the Edge break, and you're carrying that 40k in bloat, Edge 4 is still great, and the move 7, as Corn Knight just mentioned, is imperative for Vamps. So he's still a piece you got to keep. You can't fire him.
Yeah, no, there's no way. And also, like, the difference between an unskilled vamp and a legend vamp is immeasurable. You can't say I'd rather have 150 TV more less on my team, but replace a 7-4-4-8 lodge stepping pro vamp with a unskilled vamp. Like, unskilled vamps are alive.
The other big piece of it right now is what you just said at the very end, is he's got pro, and with him being so short on thralls, he needs Vamps with pro right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Plus, I mean, the other huge factor here is this team has won champs twice. There's no way he's looking to rebuild the team. You know,
he's making another run, right?
I mean, Blood Bowl 2 is probably, you know, only going to be around for another few months. I mean, once Blood Bowl 3 comes out, I think most attention is going to shift to that. Well, obviously, depending on whether it's playable or not. But, I don't see him being in this for the long haul.
No, I think what Kinroth's saying is like strategically, he should rebuild. But I think what you just said is 100% correct, Danton, by saying that he's not in it for the rebuild necessarily. He's just going to stick with his team until Blood Bowl 2 comes to an end, and then he'll go to, well, presumably go to Blood Bowl 3. But
most likely.
So. It's kind of the same thing with me with the Lizards several seasons ago. I should have dropped them, but the only reason I didn't was because of Sun Drop, and I wanted to play them until Blood Bowl 3 hits. So it's the only reason I'm still playing the Lizards.
Yeah.
But I do agree. If Shellstad will demote to tier 2, then sacking Bantha and rebuilding the team is the way to go, I think.
Yeah.
But if he gets demoted to tier 2, he probably changed team anyway, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he does finish last, then yeah, that's the. I mean, it's got to be a consideration, hasn't it? Really.
I mean, he's already got one win more than half the division, so there's, I don't think it's way too early to be thinking about that.
Yeah, it is too early.
But B, I don't think it's necessarily easier to rebuild when you fire a legend, vamp. I think I think that he's like those legend vamps. The fact there are 5 of them, the fact there are 5 vamps who are useful is what makes him able to win games at all. If he goes down to 4, he can't cover the pitch in the same way. He can't be a threat everywhere, which basically he is at the moment. And that's the way he wins is by covering most of the pitch. And it doesn't really work against high elves, for example, but it's against most slow bash teams, it's a really hard team to face, and it's a hard team to face because there are 5 vamps, and it wouldn't be as hard if there were less.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, as Kinroth mentioned again, he'd get rid of that vamp does take him out of spiraling expenses, so he's kind of trapped at that high TV and not getting any cash in. I mean, he's got enough to get. He's got 140k now, but yeah, that's not going to go up loads because of the spiraling expenses. So yeah, but as I think we've already covered, I think he's going to stick with his team now, just because it's too difficult, I think, to do anything else. And perhaps he ought to fire him, but I don't think he will. So under the circumstances to which he finds himself at the moment. So I just ran the bot in the background while we were talking, and they played 3 times, and it's currently 1 win each and a draw. So there's not really much history can help us with that one. Betting wise, though,
I'm going to get a point on everybody in this game.
Yeah. Betting wise, here we go, back again. So the people gone for Kielstadt are Nibbin, Galentio, and Dreamland and Broccoli. Spider's gone for a draw, and then for Trunkhead is Kinroth, Corn Knight, me, and Danton. And yeah, I think basically the elves are going to out-elf the vamps. So that's kind of why I've gone for Trunkhead, I think, for that one. But yeah, I mean, it'd be an interesting game either way. But if his dice aren't brilliant, then yeah, I think Trunkhead's going to take it.
It's going to be a 2-2 draw, and I'm going to gain a point back on everybody.
it could very easily be a 2-2 draw, couldn't it? Because Kielstadt will be going for the early score on that one.
Yeah, well, I think the Darks probably win, but I'm still betting on the Vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Bet with your heart rather than your head.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that is the last game of the champs. So yeah, there's not much else to say. Spider, when's your game scheduled for?
Sunday at 1700 UTC.
So
5 o'clock UTC.
Danton, yours is going to be next week. I think on Monday once Kinroth gets his schedule. And yeah, and I think that's everyone else on the chat, isn't it? Who's here?
And I should be streaming mine.
Are you going to stream?
I didn't get to stream. Yeah, I didn't get to stream last week because we ended up pushing off from Saturday until Monday afternoon, and it was on my lunch break, so I didn't have time to set everything up to stream.
Danton, Kinroth's saying play now.
Yeah. I think Kinroth's so baked he can't.
I would, but I'm
going to go. Do it. I'll stream it.
I would say that it's too late for little Danton to play
No,
now.
I mean,
For little D. Anton.
Exactly.
Kinroth is in the UK, I think, so it's later for him than it is for me. But unfortunately, I cannot play.
You might actually want to play him now if he's as high as he's saying he is.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
No,
No,
I mean
he'll
for you.
just-
I mean,
he'll-
oh, it's in the
oh,
US.
he's in the USA.
You're in the
That's
same
good.
time zone,
No,
potentially.
same. Well, possibly.
Ah,
yeah.
hence that explains all the talking to the loudmouth. Got it.
That explains. Yeah, we should get
It's not,
Kinroth. We should
it's not drunkenness. It's
It's just
American.
standard Florida.
we should
Yeah,
get
Yeah.
Kinroth on as a guest and see if who's louder between him and Cornell.
oh Jesus Christ! I'll turn you both down. Spider, you're our current American on the on the cast. So what do you think of Florida as a or
in no way
Florida
a leading
people?
question.
Well, my first thing is he's either a young kid or he's a old man that's moved there to retire.
Yeah,
Right.
there are no, there's no,
There's no in between. right?
There's no in
No,
between.
the way he's talking shit, I would assume he's a younger kid.
probably works in Disney World or the Epcot Center in a furry suit, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh,
Okay,
yeah.
we're
Yeah,
getting
whereabouts
all in. Getting it all in
whereabouts
now.
in Florida, Kinroth? Are we
Yep,
talking?
he's a younger kid.
27.
Young
Yeah,
kid,
he's a young
27.
kid. Are we talking Miami or are we talking North?
Can I say something? My half brother who I'm going to visit was born in Florida. So he was born in Tampa, and he says that people from Tampa are called tampons.
Nice.
Oh, West Palm Beach.
Is that near Miami?
I have been to West Palm Beach several times.
Oh, did you see like someone hanging around, like drunk,
No,
lying down
no,
with
it's
shorts on? That could have been
I have,
Kinroth.
I have
when
a
I-
feeling
when I
that when
went- when I-
Danton went was when Kinroth was 2.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say when I went, Kinroth had not been born yet. So
Oh. Great.
So it's little Kinroth and not little Danton.
it's little Kinrothy.
Oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. This needs to continue.
Kinotinu.
Well, thank you. This could go on forever, but thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Broccoli, for being a guest.
Thank you.
I hope you've spoken enough. Kinroth's still going on, but that's all fine. So good luck everyone for the week. Cornite, who is on to raid?
There's
And-
almost no one. In terms of Blood Bowl, there's really
no
a
one.
dearth of.
Well, we could just end it then.
Well, no, there are people that we might consider friends of the channel. How about Dimmy? He's not.
There are Blood Bowl streamers not streaming Blood Bowl, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, even there's Artemis who is doing his usual playing of whatever shooty game he's doing, but in the Blood Bowl channel, in the Blood Bowl category, and he just puts in the subject line, "Ask me Blood Bowl questions," like you'd want to know how to play from Artemis. Jesus. Anyway, and then there's 4 other names of people I don't really know who are playing Blood Bowl, but
Who
then
are
Burpo, Ragnar Orc Games, the Lagar, which I assume means
The
station.
Oh,
and-
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hindrance. So Hindrance, I know Hindi from Rebel, but it's just gonna be But I don't feel like I'd rather do Dimmy, right?
All right. Well, just
Yeah.
do Dimmy then.
There's also Crystal Hunter is playing League of Legends if people want to go and look at him.
Okay.
But yeah,
And
let's do
can you,
Dimmy.
Dimmy sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, Dimmy
Yeah.
sounds good. Are you? Can you Rocket League?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Right. Maybe we'll get a few of them in.
All right, guys, enjoy your Rocket League.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having.
Thanks
for
everyone.
joining us.
Thanks again. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
And if anyone else wants to join, then when I put all the streams in the channel, just say hi, and we'll sort it out.
Yeah, especially thanks for joining us, Broccoli. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Broccoli.
Thank you for having me. It was really fun.
So sorry you didn't get more chance to talk because
Yeah. There's a couple of loud mouths that you're on with, unfortunately.
And also we should have arranged it better so we were actually talking about our division rather than the champs when you came in.
Yeah, I mean, before, I mean, we can keep talking because when it raids, it will just cut the viewers off. But
Yeah.
are you ever free at lunchtime, Broccoli?
Yeah, I would be. I work more or less the hours I want to work. So
Oh, perfect. Just like coordinate. So yeah, all right. Well, we'll see what we can do for next time, or
Yeah.
maybe a couple of weeks, because yeah, it'd be good to have you on to talk about your division, because obviously it's a bit more personal. But yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Makes more
but
sense.
it was really nice and fun to be here. So
No
Cool.
worries.
looking forward to the next time.
Excellent. All
Yeah,
right.
it was
So
good meeting you, Broccoli.
cool.
What did I
Cheers.
say, Spider?
I said
Yeah.
it was good meeting you.
Ah,
Yeah.
Same.
Yep. Likewise. Take care, guys.
All right,
Yep.
we're going now. Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Kinroth.
Okay, the raid has happened.
It's gone.
All right,
Excellent.
I'm gonna go grab dinner and chill out for the night. So I will.
Yeah, have a good
holler at
one.
You guys later.
Look out for Kinroth if you're near Florida. I know you're not near Florida, but you know.
Yeah, I try to stay away from Florida.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I was going to make a comment about coming to visit him at the end of,
I think that would
the
be
end-
really
end
bad
of
for
May.
both of you.
I'm literally at the other end of the country, so. you know.
Right. Fair enough.
I don't even like going down there for a week vacation. I try to stay away from Florida as much as I can.
Okay.
It's it's an interesting holiday destination. I think it's one of those things that people should experience. A bit like Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I
I've
think you've got to go there
experienced it
once,
more than
haven't you?
enough.
And then that's it.
I've
That's
experienced it more than once, more than enough. I don't need it again.
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And unfortunately, that's all my wife ever wants to do is go to the beach. I'm like, let's do something different and
Yeah,
have
come to
fun
Europe.
doing other things. Oh,
I
I'd
mean,
love to go. I'd love to do a 2-week backpacking trip across Europe, but she won't fly over the ocean.
Ah, that's a shame.
She's scared to death of it. Now I've almost got her talk trip over to Italy, but
Get a train, Orient Express.
Yeah.
I told her we could
Alaska,
just
Russia.
yeah. That's what I said. I was gonna just getting ready to say. I told her we could just fly to Alaska and walk across to Russia and then train down.
Yeah, maybe not at the moment, but yeah, it's certainly.
Probably not.
certainly-
Yeah, we don't want to right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I used to go to Florida like a lot when I was a kid because my dad used to work over there like 3 or 4 months a year. But yeah, I wouldn't be desperate to go back now.
I mean, I went there as a kid because my dad moved over there when he went to America, and as a kid, it's amazing, it's awesome. Whether I would,
Totally.
I wouldn't. I'm not particularly.
You know,
beach
this is it
guy.
was this
I think
is
it's- I'd like to say one thing, though, Spider. I think it's very harsh that you should keep your beach-loving wife in the middle of the country, as far away from beaches as possible. Clearly.
They might have beaches in the
doesn't need to be
Midwest
on the
somewhere,
beach.
might
They do on big lakes, if you
Yeah.
want to call it a beach. I mean, it's sand.
I'm not sure. Does she feel that way too, or is that just?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I mean, there's so many cool places to go see in the U.S. I mean,
they? Oh, absolutely.
you don't
Yeah.
always
Got
have
it all,
to just
haven't
do
you?
the beach. I mean, and it's there's so many neat places to go.
Yeah, I totally agree. Oh,
But
apparently there's a Rocket League update, so we might have to be a few
Oh,
minutes.
really?
So I've driven down the west coast, and I've been
Yeah.
to New York and been to Florida. And almost none of the middle.
Driven
Yeah.
down Highway 1, the iconic Highway 1, all the way down the West Coast.
Yeah, I guess I can't remember what number it was anymore.
Yeah,
I want to
through
say
LA and down to San Diego.
you're not that far. No, only down to
Gotcha.
San Francisco. So from
Gotcha.